So garlic bread, great side dish, of course, to serve with any pasta dish. So I'm going to show you how to make, this serves about 4 people. I like the garlic bread nice and thick, so I have a loaf of sourdough. You can use French, you can use a long baguette, but again, it's not pre-sliced. So we're going to use our serrated knife, and I'm going to show you, I like to cut it in half first. And when you use a serrated knife, it's more like a saw. It's not an up-down motion, it's a back and forth. Allow those teeth to cut right through. Then I'm gonna take the cut end and place it down, and I'm gonna separate the tops from the bottom, and make sure you're right in the middle. You wanna make sure that both pieces are the same thickness. So again, just top and your bottom. Okay, now we are going to be putting these under the broiler, which means no paper, no parchment, needs to be metal because a broiler has a flame and we don't want anything catching on fire. So just going to separate those. Look at that, right in half. And if one end is a little not laying flat, you can always go and just take a little piece off the bottom. Look at that. And then now it lays perfectly flat. Okay, move that off to the side. I'm going to keep that little piece of bread to test our sauce with. So, in the microwave safe bowl, now it could be glass or if you have microwave safe bowl plastic, I took that 1 stick of butter, okay? We use unsalted here in class. If you have salted butter, then you can eliminate that half a teaspoon of salt that's in the recipe. I microwaved it for about 25 seconds, and what you're looking for is that it's softened, okay? Not liquidy. You want it to look like a nice little paste. And I'm just gonna go in with my rubber scraper, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of mix it, make sure I don't have any lumps. I'm looking that it's nice and smooth. You know, you can just leave that stick of butter sitting on the counter for a couple hours. It will be room temperature, and you should be able to mix it as well. Okay, so there we go. Nice little softened butter. And then into that, we're gonna add that 5 cloves of garlic that I minced. It is garlic bread, so nice amount of garlic. And then that half a tablespoon, which is a teaspoon and a half, of that Italian seasoning blend. And again, I'm adding the salt only because I am using unsalted butter. And you just mix all of that together. And you basically have created a nice little garlic spread. Or what we learn is called a compound butter. So if you've ever had honey butter, that is a compound butter. So you could take this, put it in a little bowl or a Tupperware and refrigerate it and use it to spread on even like a steak right off the barbecue. I'll do that with tri-tip, just add some garlic. We'll do a lab in Culinary 2 with grilled salmon, and we make a compound butter that's got dill, some pepper, lemon zest, and then we put it on our cooked fish. Okay, so take your bread. Okay, remember, nothing on the tray. And I have my broiler preheating. Now remember, the only way to control the flame is to raise or lower the rack. So I have placed the rack in the middle of the oven. So if you have 4, it's about the 3rd one from the bottom or the 2nd one down. Because this bread is thick, okay? If we have it right next to the broiler, it's gonna burn and it's not gonna heat the bread all the way through. We really want that butter to soak in and then really nicely brown the top. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and put a little bit of butter. Yeah, I know, it's not a little bit. On each piece. And I love to use the rubber scraper for this because you can get in there and really clean your bowl out. It scrapes all that butter out. Make sure, oops, get it all on the bread. Okay. So what I like to do is I start from the middle and work my way out to the edges, and you're going to just smear that garlic spread edge to edge all the way around. Now if you find one some a little short, you can take some from another one. So smear, like that word, okay, all the way around edge to edge. This one has a little bit too much. Take some, put it on this last piece. I don't waste any of it, okay, so if you have some that's a little too thick, spread it back on one of the other ones. And I let my broiler get really good and hot, so I don't turn it on just before I'm going to put it in. I've already got it on. I let that broiler warm up about 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time. Now, when you're broiling, 2 oven mitts on your hands, and do not walk away from the oven. Okay, it's not a set time. Everybody's ovens are different. The heat on them is different. So you really need to pay attention. Now, the closer the bread is to the flame, the faster it's going to cook. So, you know, these little pieces here might start to brown a little bit faster. So you can spin your tray. You can take some bread off if that one piece is done and the other 3 need to go in. You can spin just that little individual piece. Again, it's up to where your oven is. A lot of times the gas ranges have just the burner right down the middle, so you'll find maybe the middle cooks and browns faster, so you might need to spin those pieces in. Have, again, your oven mitts, maybe a pair of tongs so that you're ready to go. All right, we're going to go put this in the broiler, and I'll show you what it looks like. As you can see, beautifully golden brown each piece on the outside. This one's a little darker. I kind of like the middle range. It's up to you guys if you want to go a little bit longer. Remember, oven mitts, the pan is going to be hot. I want to show you how I serve it. And grab a knife. And I do have, let's see. So I like to cut it from the middle to the end. That way there isn't anybody who's stuck with just the end piece. And I go down and just cut right through. And each person then can have 2 pieces of garlic bread. Like to put my garlic bread mounded on a plate. And then everybody can grab their own. As a little side dish. There you go. So, fresh, homemade garlic bread to go with your pasta. Enjoy.